Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Marchich. This is your outlook for August 7th, 2014. And a very uneventful forecast is coming up here for the upcoming week here, and maybe beyond that if the European model is correct. We'll start off with today here. And the front we had come through yesterday, we had is now going to be sitting up way to the south. You're going to be sitting down here across this area. Showers and thunderstorms along that frontal boundary. And in its place, you're going to have high pressure moving in and settling across the northeast. Now, this high pressure is going to be important. This is going to be sitting here just anchored over the northeast for several days. And there's going to be a system out here that is sitting right now in the Midwest. It's going to move to the east-southeast, being forced further south along this boundary here. And this boundary cannot come further north because high pressure is in the way, just kind of setting up a roadblock here. So this system here is going to follow this boundary to the southeast, and this means it's going to head right in this direction here like this and dump some pretty heavy rainfall across southern Virginia and across North Carolina in the upcoming week here. It's going to be a very slow-moving system as we get into the weekend here, but for our area, we're not expecting anything at all. And we'll go a little bit further in time here. This is actually looking at later on Thursday. As you get into the weekend here, you can see the system moving to the east-southeast, and then it winds up sitting right over southern Virginia and the northern part of North Carolina here, just dumping some pretty heavy rainfall. But you can see here is staying away from our coverage area. And that's because you have this big bad boy sitting right here, this big H here. This is a high pressure that's going to force this thing further south and not allow that front to return back north as a warm front. And that's going to keep us high and dry right through the weekend. Here is a look at Saturday morning, and still going beyond that to Sunday morning. It finally exits the coast. So from Saturday, it goes basically from north-central North Carolina to the eastern half of North Carolina in 24 hours. So this is not moving very fast, but you see the whole time high pressure just continues to sit here and actually strengthen sitting over New England here. So we're going to have a very nice weekend, and as we head into early next week, it's going to continue. Now, I don't think we're going to be dealing with any precipitation at least until next Wednesday. Now, there are some indications that the evolution of this system here, which is the same one as now just moving offshore, is going to take place a little bit differently. As we head over to our GFS model here, this is a little bit different, and it shows a kind of like a two-barrel low here, almost like one of those Miller B type scenarios you see in the wintertime, where you have one area of low pressure moves up into the Ohio Valley, and then one that's sitting out here offshore. This is, and then one transfers energy to the other here, and one takes over as the primary moves up this way. This is probably not a very likely solution, so I wouldn't expect this to happen. So the forecast right now that are calling for rain on Tuesdays is based on this GFS coming to fruition here, and this is a very odd solution, not only for this time of year, but for any time of year. What it's showing here, this dual low look here, and then eventually it merges into one system, and then you get your rain that's sitting over our area here later on Tuesday as this continues into one system, and obviously much further north. The European model, of course, had this low pressure like this, took it across northern North Carolina as one unit, and then exit the coast, and it finally takes out the sea like this, which is probably going to end up happening. Of course, the GFS is showing this crazy solution here that we're probably not going to be following here. So as a result, we did keep it dry through Tuesday, and if the European model is correct, we will actually be dry for much longer than that. Here is a frontal boundary passing to our north here as you get in the middle of next week, but after that you really have nothing going on again through the end of the forecast period. You might get something at the very, very tail end with a frontal boundary, but this wouldn't be until early Saturday, the 16th of August, if the European model is correct. So we will continue to monitor that situation here, but this scenario here from the GFS and the forecast you're seeing out there, longer range forecasts or automated forecasts, whatever you want to call it, for next Tuesday, Wednesday. This is based on this GFS, and it's probably not a very likely solution at this point, but we will keep on it, and hopefully we can get some rain in some form or another, because that's a long stretch that the European model is showing for our area to be without rainfall. We certainly don't want any droughts in this region, so we'll keep you on top of that as soon as we get a little bit closer and hopefully that's not the case. I'm Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for August 7th, 2014. Have a great Thursday.